Hello everyone and welcome back again to BPS. I hope you all are doing fine and preparing for your APSC mains. So as always we have come again with another topic for your APSC answer writing practice session, and this is on a very recent incident, which is the Hathras stampede. Now the question is not on specifically about the Hathras incident, but it is about the theme, which is the stampede disaster management question, which can be a potential essay writing question for you. Okay, now what are the key psychological and environmental factors contributing to stampedes, and how do these factors interplay to exacerbate the risk during the large gatherings? How can advanced technologies be integrated into existing crowd management strategies to prevent stampedes? So this is a two-part question. So the question here is basically asking about the impact, which is the psychological and the environmental factors, the causes behind the stampedes. So it has specifically mentioned about two types of causes, which is the psychological and the environmental factors. So we don't need to address anything which is beyond this, because the question itself has given us two themes to address, which is the environmental and the psychological factors. And next is the advanced technologies. What can we do to prevent stampede like a situation with the help of artificial intelligence or with the help of technologies? So this is a two-part question, and I hope you will be able to solve it very soon. So let's see. So on the introduction part, as you can see here already, this is actually an NDTV news which I got recently, which is Hathras stampede report cites mismanagement, 6 officials suspended for negligence. Now this is just a report which the NDTV has written. Now every time we see such kind of disasters happen, for example, let's say train incidents, the train accidents or stampede like situations or stuff like that, we always hear news that it is actually the officials who get suspended for negligence. Now there are certain aspects of stampedes of the disaster management which we also need to learn, and that is why the question has specifically asked about the technological technological aspect of the control of the stampede like a situation. Now stampedes are sudden chaotic mass movements of crowds, often triggered by panic or perceived danger. These events can result in severe injuries and fatalities due to crushing and asphyxia, highlighting the urgent need for effective crowd management and safety measures. So stampedes are basically like sudden chaotic mass movement. So recently also you saw that one, I think it was in the city of Ahmedabad, one hotel, a certain post for the hotel was open, and then there were a lot of students who crawled inside the hotel, and they just destroyed the entire reception, just because there was so many movement of people. Nobody knew what to do. Even the management also didn't expect that so many students will come for this interview. So sometimes it happens. So we always need to be ready in terms of these kind of situations. So these are sudden and chaotic moments. Nobody has encouraged this moment. So it has happened out of nowhere. So it's just a sudden movement. And then as you can see, in the introduction part itself, the Hathras incident is specifically mentioned as an example. So here you can also give the Hathras incident, and there were several other incidents. Especially these type of incidents occur in the religious gatherings. Even you can see in the Hajj also there are a lot of stampedes where people die. So basically because of the religious gatherings where large number of people come, in situations like these kind of stampedes happen. So is it always right to blame the administration or the management? Because sometimes the management also cannot calculate like how many people are going to come. For example, the 12 years, every 12 years we used to happen this one, this Kumbh Mela. So not even the administration is also prepared like how many people are going to come, how many people can we expect this year that we need to provide accommodation for. So sometimes the city is not always ready to accommodate large number of people, and especially on the religious gatherings. So it is not always okay to fire the officials, because sometimes even the officials and the management also, they are clueless like how many people will come. Now main body. Key factors contributing to the stampedes. First, they have already asked you about the environmental and the psychological factors. Now, panic is a significant psychological trigger that can escalate rapidly in crowded situations. In emergencies, initial cooperation among individuals can quickly break down as self-preservation instincts take over. So likewise, recently in one of the places of the Bihu function in Assam, I think in Guwahati, there was so many people came for the Bihu function, and not even the management was aware that that so many people are going to come there. So they have even taken the precautions, but still, even though there were large number of crowd who fell in, and there was death of so many people. So sometimes these kind of situations happen. And why? Because of the panic. Because when we see a large number of gatherings, we also have a certain panic situation, and people who especially have respiratory problems, they find it even more difficult to navigate themselves through these kind of crowd. Okay, next we come to the environmental factors. The environmental factors include inadequate lighting, then we have poor crowd flow management, then collapse of barriers or buildings, block exits, fire hazards, and high crowd density. When crowd density reaches 3 to 4% per square meter, evacuation becomes increasingly difficult, heightened panic, and the risk of stampede. So the environmental factors are poor lighting, inadequate lighting, because if the stadium is only made to accommodate, let's say 1000 people, so there accordingly there will be lights. But let's say if 2000 people come in, or if they are filled in, then there are not enough lights to see the management or to see the movement of people, like where these people are going to. Now, poor crowd flow management, because sometimes we always have to be ready, the management has to be ready. Let's say if the audience, if the limit of the audience is only 1000, then the management has to make sure that only 1000 people or max to max 1200 people can enter the premises, but not more than that. So this has to be one of the trainings that has to be included in every kind of crowd functions, even if be it a religious function, even if be it a private function, or even be it anything, so or even be it a cultural function. So these kind of trainings is very, very necessary for the management to take before handling of the crowd. Then collapse of barriers or buildings. So sometimes when large number of people come, okay, when they gather in a particular area, and if that area is only fenced, or if that area is only protected by bamboo fences, then there are high chances that because of the large gathering of the crowd, the bamboo fence is going to fall down. And once the fences fall down, then the remaining of the crowd also panics in that situation. Now, block exits, fire hazards, and high crowd density. So sometimes if there are 3 exits, then the administration will only open 1 exit, and the rest of the 2 exits will be blocked. And when the emergency situation comes, then people, they have to only run from that particular exit, because the multiple exits have been blocked. So certain kind of these kind of situations actually at large, when so many people come in, and when they try to exit the stadium or a particular event, then it leads to stampede, because there are not any multiple exits from that point. So the management has to ensure that there are multiple exit points, so that the people, in case of any kind of large number of crowd, in case of panic situations, that people can actually take different routes to exit. And once when they exit the stadium or the particular place, then I think the risk of stampede also becomes very, very less. So these are the environmental factors. Then we come to the advanced technologies in crowd management. This is another part of the question which was asking you. The real-time density monitoring using sensors like thermal and Lidar can provide critical data to AI models, predicting crowd surges and triggering early warnings. Thermal warnings. That means if just because, see, for example, we are people who are very hot-blooded animal. So movement of people will have a thermal indicator, like so many people are actually moving to one particular place and there is more number of crowd. So based on these thermal indicators, it will be very easy for the administration also to point out that one particular place in that location has been filled by large number of people and they need to take effective steps to control that crowd. Okay, so these kind of thermal indicators can actually help in management of the crowd. Now RFID tags and tickets or wristbands allow real time tracking of crowd movement, identifying congested areas. RFID tags, so if they give you a tags which is filled with chips and stuff like that, so the moment more number of people go and gather in a particular place, those tags will get actually triggered, and then the administration, even the police, will be able to know that so many people have been clubbed into one particular space. So it will become easy for them to monitor like how many people are there. Let's say if 1 square meter, if we can allow only, let's say, 4 people in 1 square meter, then let's say if there are 10 people who have come into 1 square meter, then it becomes a real crowded situation. So it becomes easy for the administration also to keep a track. Then drones equipped with high resolution cameras and thermal imaging can monitor crowds in real time and detect anomalies, also projecting calming messages or announcements. So drones which are equipped with high resolution cameras. So let's say if there is any kind of religious function which is going on and so many people have come, for example the Hathras only. So what is going to happen if the drones are flying above, if there are drone monitoring systems, then at least the drone can take pictures and thermal indicators of people sitting in one particular place, so that the crowd management can be equally adjusted. Now intelligent lighting systems that adjust based on crowd density can guide movement in calm situations. So sometimes what happens when there is darkness, okay, if there, let's say if there is a BU function going on and if the management only has prepared for 1000 people, but let's say 3000 to 4000 people have come up, if there is not enough lighting, then people will get more panic situations when there is no light. If there is darkness, then nobody will know who is going where, and then people are going to shout, they are going to cry, and they are going to call each other, and everybody is going to stampede over one another. So when there is effective lighting, which is a very AI based lighting, which is very intelligent lighting systems, then where there is large number of crowd situated, there the lighting can actually project a way forward, like this is the way, this is the exit, please exit from this place. So these kind of intelligent monitoring systems we need at this hour. Now pathways with bioluminescent materials can glow brighter during the emergencies, like the neon colors. So what happens with the neon color? When it is dark, it lights away. So if their management is not able to provide enough intelligent lighting, then they can make a bioluminescent pathways, because if there is not enough light, then at least the color neon is going to is going to light brighter, and then people will be able to find their pathways towards the exit. Just because, for example, these kind of things is actually introduced in the cinema halls, because once you enter the cinema hall, it's quite dark and you don't know where to find your seat because you can't see anything. So in that case, what happens, in the steps they provide this bioluminescent light so that you can see the movement of the steps, and you can also see the number of the seats, that which number is your seat. So these are things which we need to incorporate in our crowd management system. Now interacting displays showing real time wait times, evacuating routes, and essential information in multiple language can also improve crowd safety. Which are interactive displays? Let's say if there is a religious function going on, we need an interactive display, just like a stadium, a cricket stadium or football stadium, like that. So when there is an interactive displays, then people also can see themselves, like where the exit is, where the entry is. So the interactive display is going to give a live demonstration of where the entry points are or where the exit points are. So it becomes easy for people to navigate themselves in cases of very large number of crowds. Okay. So this is what the technology aspects that it is written here. In the concluding part, you can say effective crowd management, advanced safety technologies, and public awareness are crucial in preventing stampedes and ensuring the safety of attendees at large gatherings, thus minimizing the risk of tragic incidents and fostering a secure environment for all. So we need a very secure environment for all, and that is exactly the reason why effective crowd management is a must, and specifically after these kind of religious stampedes. Now no one is actually aware that no one was actually aware that so many large people will flow in, but these are certain trainings that we need to incorporate in the crowd management system, because India, since it's always a largest populated country in the world, so we need always to be ready in terms of events, cultural events, religious events, political events, or whatever, because stampedes can happen at any time. And this is something, a question that you must prepare for your essay writing also, because essay writings also you need to be very well aware of the recent technologies and stuffs like that, because since you are going to be an administrator, so you need to be well aware of the new technologies which are coming into the market or which can be used for proper and effective administration. So I hope this was a useful session for you. If you have any questions, please do write it down on the comment section. Till then, take care and all the best.